Are we ready to go, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we are. Everything appears to be in order, so let's go ahead and get started. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another My Hero Academia chapter reaction and review. Just a little bit of a recap what happened in the last chapter. Midoriya finally got a chance to take a bath, finally got a chance to sleep. Still haven't seen him actually eat some food, but he's definitely going to need it. And then it pretty much ends the chapter with the information that the heroes have had this whole time, thinking that they have 2 months to be ready in order to take the fight to Shigaraki and All For One. Apparently, that's no longer the case, because whatever information Stain gave to All Might, that is completely different as of right now. And it last showed Endeavor flying overhead in what appears to be the remains of Tartarus. So, let's see what happens in this brand new chapter. Chapter 328, No Man is an Island. And it shows, about 1 month ago, it shows one of the Tartarus prisons on fire in Counter Quirk Maximum Security Prison Tartarus. About 1 month ago, and it shows so much devastation going on right now. And one crazy dude is just running through here, just saying, "Women, give me some women. Never thought I'd see the day when I could start collecting females again." And before this dude could even say anything, he is instantly killed by Stain. And Stain, because this whole, it's showing what happened. It's showing how what happened during the massive breakout and how Stain got out. Stain kills this dude instantly, just slices through his neck with either that's a shard that he picked up, he just slices through him thinking, what's going on here? I haven't heard a word of news about anything beyond these walls since my arrest in Hosu City. But if Tartarus has fallen, the world beyond must be in dire straits. Information is essential. And then he goes to the main information hub room, the main security room, seeing how all the security dudes are dead and all of the monitors are smashed, with him thinking, nothing left here. The others met their grisly ends gripping firearms, but this one clutches something else, like a babe in his arms. You know how Stain is. He is very philosophical with the way he speaks. And then the guy is still partly alive, saying, "Why?" And because it's whatever this guy is holding, Stain is starting to take it, but then he says, "Why grab this and not a weapon?" The ragged breathing of a man doomed to die. And Stain says, "I require information." "Chizome Akaguro, you worked with Shigaraki. This is not for you." And then Stain glares at him saying, "So it's something that matters then." And then he just takes it from the guy. With him saying, "Store data," and starts to walk away from the guy. And the guy starts to take his weapon, saying, "You killer! Drop it! That must reach the right people! Give it back! Not for you! Must do my duty!" And Stain says, "This era has gone awry. Rest assured your conviction will reach the right man." Akaguro, are you a man or a beast? And it shows the entire area where this man is starting to crumble. Like the whole area is just coming under its own weight. This dude is not long for this world. But Stain replies saying, "I'm merely an ally to the world as it should be, but a beast all the same." And then it shows All For One, along with Shigaraki, just standing atop the ruins of Tartarus, saying that good word and preaching using his honeyed words to sway the people that were in prison in Tartarus. While Stain is watching, he slips away and dives off of Tartarus to swim out to shore. "That nameless man guarded this data to his dying breath. As for its true value, I cannot say. So I will deliver it to the only one who has earned my trust. To To his final moments, that guard held a dying ember of resolve to act for society's sake. You must pick up where he left off, because everything began with you. And then it has a narration here. All Might delivered the intel to Tsukauchi's people, and later rejoined them after speaking with Deku at UA. And then Tsukauchi, who has slowly gained like a little bit of a mustache and a beard over time, because he used to be clean shaven. Now, all this time that's been going on, he hasn't shaved, and it's starting to show on him. With Tsukauchi saying, "Glad to hear you've patched things up with Midoriya. Anyhow, we're really losing face getting help from a killer like this, but Tartarus' system is a standalone one, built that way in order to prevent interference from external forces. So normally, no one else would have access to this data in any form. As for the data itself, it concerns the cause of their system's shutdown, the same radio waves that Shigaraki made extensive use of in the main battle. In this case, the prison was hit with those blasts over and over from both inside and out. Which means that this was a combined attack on Tartarus, both by Shigaraki and All For One. Remember, All For One still has his quirk copy, but he hasn't done anything all this time. So when Shigaraki arrived at Tartarus, they used their blast waves, their sound wave quirks, to literally wreck the systems of Tartarus from both inside and out. Because it shows the radio waves coming out of one room, and obviously, in this panel, that is the room of All For One is held in. And then Sanza speaks. Because All For One himself must have synchronized with his vestige residing within Tomura Shigaraki, right? And then All Might says, well, Sanza, yes, the piece of his consciousness inside his quirks works as a conduit for sharing thoughts. I've experienced the same phenomenon with One For All. The problem is that it isn't a two-way channel, says All Might. And Sanza looks confused, with All Might explaining. The vestige of me within One For All seems to have access to my thoughts, but I never experienced any sort of syncing with the vestige's thoughts. Except recently when I touched the boy, or rather, when I was close enough to touch him, whatever my vestige was thinking and feeling sort of flowed into me. It's not words exactly, more like feelings flowing from you. Even if we suppose that All For One can sync to a greater degree than One For All, do we really believe that his real body locked up 500 meters below sea level could receive such specific thoughts from the vestige in Shigaraki? And Sanza, looking at him shrewdly, says, stranger things, right? Kind of like a twin connection. Then Tsukauchi continues saying, that could very well be, but in this case, they used those radio waves to communicate. They were talking to each other. Give me a sec. That was my dad. He got a brand new phone. He was just making sure that the ringer works. But continuing on, it shows a flashback of Shigaraki saying, these radio waves can be used as signals to give the Nomu very specific commands. And Tsukauchi continues saying, we should assume that a man in possession of that same quirk could receive and interpret those waves, and the waveform data on that storage media resembles a conversation. And Sanza says, then it's already been decoded? What were they saying? And the conversation says, make him complete in 38 days. Yo, they don't have too much. They don't have 2 months. I said too much, didn't I? They don't have 2 months. They have a month and 8 days. That's All For One's order. Make him complete in 38 days. And Sanza says, oh, akin to anyone else who says, what's going on here? And the person's response is, John Wick did this. Sanza responded the same way with that usual, oh. But based on the research from Central Hospital, I thought we had 2 months, no? And All Might says, he could have rigged the results we were bound to get as a bluff. Only he and his vestige can interpret that correspondence at the time, so if we assume they discussed the true schedule, then Tomura Shigaraki will be a complete Vestal in 3 days' time? They've had all this... Oh, I forgot so much time has passed since this conversation. In 3 days! So much for it being a month and a couple of days. They only have 3 days. 3 days. Then Tomura Shigaraki will be a complete vessel in 3 days' time. And then it cuts to the Heroes Association. A direct request from All Might, yes. But this sort of dispatch can't happen in a day. Even in the best of times, an international deployment effort takes a staggering amount of procedure and paperwork. The strength of our heroes is directly tied to domestic power. When they go abroad, a nation is less able to deter attacks and the balance crumbles. Any large-scale deployment tends to encourage the major crime syndicates to stir up trouble, but this time is worse than ever. Countries all over the world are in turmoil, almost as if these syndicates are working together. According to Interpol, the man known as All for One has underworld connections in a number of countries. Even so, we cannot disregard this earnest plea from Endeavor Hawks and most notably All Might. And it has someone that looks like a drawing of an Egyptian pharaoh or Egyptian queen in one of these screens saying, "My nation's hero Salam is quickly losing patience. He has taken to muttering, 'I will flatten that All for One.' The same goes for our hero, Big Red Dot. He questions why aiding a friend must involve so much red tape. On that note, ours already left." Oh, so a hero from another nation just completely left, is heading towards Japan right now. On that note, ours already left. She couldn't sit around any longer. She skipped out on everything and just flew off. Holy crap! Who is this? Who is this? Whoever this woman is, she is riding on stealth bombers. She's just standing on top of the stealth bombers, saying, with someone communicating to her from the stealth bomber saying, "Hey, no skin off our back, Star. This mission's guaranteed to get the green light anyway, sooner or later. Besides, the request came from All Might himself." And this woman says, "My master's in a pickle. Why would I think twice? United States of America's #1 hero, Star and Stripe." My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. The #1 hero from America is coming to Japan. All Might's moves are based off of America. And now you have the American #1 hero coming to help All Might, saying, "My master's in a pickle!" And she left before being told to leave. Oh, she fine, though. The #1 hero from America is coming. I always thought about, sure, we have All Might as the #1 hero that the world sees as the #1 hero, but we forget that there's #1 heroes in other countries. And now we get the American #1 hero heading to Japan to help out All Might. She already left. She didn't wait for nobody. All the other heroes are all like, "Well, we gotta adhere to procedure. We gotta adhere to procedure. We gotta do all the paperwork. We gotta do all this. We gotta do all that. We gotta do yada yada yada." And Star and Stripe just got on, just left out with a squad of stealth bombers. Now, mind you, The way she looks, she's a tall woman. She got like a big old, she is dressed in an outfit that is basically the American flag. Think Homelander's outfit, but far better. She has a striped cape. She has stars on her raised collar. Stars and stripes. Star and stripe. And she has like this swept back big hairstyle that also is spiky as well. She looks amazing. She looks cool. And she's just smiling, saying, "My master's in a pickle. Why would I think twice?" And she's just on top of a star. She's on top of a stealth bomber as it's flying above the clouds. Oh, I wonder what her quirk is. That's the end of the chapter, however. Oh, this was a good chapter. This was a good chapter. This was a good chapter. We got the American #1 hero coming to help out. I'm excited. I got up out my chair and everything. This was a good chapter. But let's two big things that happened in this chapter. One, we found out that we don't have 2 months' time for Shigaraki to reach completion. We don't even have the 38 days from the moment that the transmission between All For One and Shigaraki using their Soundwave quirks to speak to each other. He doesn't even have 38 days. In 3 days' time, Shigaraki's body will reach perfection, as they say. His body will be complete in 3 days. The heroes don't have long, and the final battle is soon to come. Because as soon as Shigaraki gets completion, that's when All For One is going to make his move. So the heroes need to be ready. And we have the Heroes Association speaking to their members and board members from all the different countries saying, like, sure, we need to muster these forces, but it's going to take a whole bunch of paperwork and everything, and it's just going to take too long for us to make any meaningful decisions with the amount of manpower that we're going to need. But the American #1 superhero just says, screw that noise, forget about procedure, forget about paperwork. I'm gonna take me and a squad of stealth bombers, and we're gonna fly to Japan. Because my master needs help. She behaves, the way that he described her, saying like she just couldn't sit around and do nothing. It reminds me of the behavior of Mirko here in Japan already. Their personalities are kind of similar. Versus Mirko, who's all like, who wants to team up? That's talk about weak. Don't do that. Just handle things on your own. But Stars and Stripes is all, my master All Might needs help. So she says my master. Now, either this means one or two things. Either this means that she was in fact one of All Might's sidekicks, and possibly the inspiration for him coming up with these American state-named moves, or she is so inspired by All Might that she considers his efforts and his stance as a hero reason enough to see him as a master. Either one of those two things. Either she was a sidekick to All Might, and that's where All Might based all of his moves from being with, Star and Stripe in America, and he based all of his Smash moves, like Delaware Smash, Detroit Smash, Texas Smash, United States of Smash. That either means she was one of his sidekicks during a time that he may have gone to America, or she's inspired and calls him master due to his status. I want to believe it's the latter, and she was in fact a sidekick to All Might. And she's returning after being the #1 hero. Because think about it! The #1 hero in America calls All Might her master. So that means at some point, possibly, if this is the angle I'm going with, it would possibly mean that All Might has been to America, has fostered a sidekick who then became the #1 hero here in America. He became the #1 hero known throughout the world, and she became a #1 hero in America. Star and Stripe. Because think about it, All Might is drawn in a style that you would see in American comics. That's how he's drawn. Especially his muscular form, so many shadows, his eyes covered in shadow, stuff that you would see in regular Marvel comics, before they started to go downhill. Back when Marvel comics and DC comics were good. That's how All Might looked in his muscular form, like he was drawn to pattern off of America. And now we have the American #1 superhero coming to Japan to help out All Might. I know I said that several times, but it just doesn't dawn on me that we have so many #1 heroes in different nations all over the world, but we are actually getting a #1 superhero. We're actually getting a hero from outside Japan coming to help out. Because apparently the Heroes Association is moving too slow to muster their forces. This is going to be good. And it also shows that we're not going on break after this chapter. Oh, I am looking. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Even though it's 12:45 p.m. Oh, what a beautiful day. It really is a good day. We got a good chapter from One Piece, and I want to say that I was more hyped for reading this chapter of My Hero Academia than I was reading One Piece. Oh my goodness, Stars and Stripes, the #1 American superhero is coming. And she bad. Oh, she look bad. I pledge allegiance to this woman of the United States of America. All I know is I'm looking forward to the next series of chapters showing Star and Stripe and her possible history with All Might as well. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Oh my goodness, this was... I'm looking forward to this next chapter. But I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer than I already have. All I know is that this was a great chapter. This is a 9 out of 10 chapter because #1 superhero Star and Stripes. Now, let me not overshadow the efforts that Stain went through, such as escaping from Tartarus, refusing to join All for One, and seeing the conviction in the guard who pretty much kind of sacrificed his life in order to get the information that Stain had and gave to All Might. He saw that, hey, he kind of had some respect for the guy who was protecting the data as well, saying, don't worry, rest assured, I may be a beast, but I'll ensure this gets into the one hands of the man that I trust. Honoring the guy's dying wishes because he pretty much died then and there. So, let's not overshadow the efforts that Stain went through to make sure that this information that this one guard was holding made its way exactly to All Might. He didn't take it for himself. He didn't take it upon himself to use that information for his own benefit. He saw that in order for this society that he doesn't mind killing heroes in can reach the state in which he believes to be a better society, he went straight to All Might because you know how he spoke when he was arrested that first time. He says, I'll let only one man kill me. All Might is worthy. All Might is worthy of anything that Stain does towards him, including giving him vital information in order to bring about this better society that Stain has been, killing so many heroes for. So, I commend Stain for adhering to his own ideals, as twisted as they may be. It was enough to get the information to all the heroes that they need. Because in 3 days' time, Shigaraki is reaching full completion. All for One is going to make his move, and the final battle for My Hero Academia will begin. All I can say is I'm all excited to see where this series goes as a whole. And that's all I got for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, it was shorter than my whole reaction to One Piece, but one thing I can say about My Hero Academia is that it gets straight to the point. It doesn't fill it with pointless filler, and I'm glad that we are starting to get even more and more closer to that big final battle because everyone needs to be ready. But the United States #1 superhero Star and Stripe, oh, she bad. Oh, I can't wait to see what she can do. But yeah, that's all I got. So, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel, and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, Stars and Stripes, oh boy, she bad. I can't wait for her chapter. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.